Hey guys, this is Camfrey15 and I'm back at it with another review for you guys. And this is another DanMachi Dungeon Girls. Is it not wrong to pick up girls in the dungeon? You know, Season 3, Episode 2 review. Man, wow, what an episode. What an episode. Jesus, they're just, I don't know. This arc, this season so far, if you haven't watched One Piece, one, I highly recommend, even though it's super long, watch One Piece or read the manga of One Piece. This really gave me back, or it's making me feel like all sorts of Fishman Island types of vibes, because just from the standpoint in that arc, and well, really when they talk about Fishman, and a little bit of spoiler here, I'm not going to spoil any major points if you haven't watched One Piece, but and there they kind of have a similar thing like it was in this episode where the human characters, I guess you can say, hate monsters and are kind of discriminating against them. Like, you know, these humans did with Ween at the end of the episode. And it took me back and I'm like, I feel like I'm going to get Fishman Island arc vibes or just the Fishman race in terms of the One Piece, you know, storyline of how humans treat, you know, fishmen, other than really things that, you know, are garbage and stuff like that, which, man, talk about having something really freaking decisive about discrimination, because it's not like we have discrimination going on in our country right now in terms of the United States of America, but regardless of the fact, anyways, I'm here for another DanMachi Season 3 review. And yeah, this episode we got some potentially what we could be seeing, what's gonna happen this season in terms of maybe Bell and the monster, he works with the monsters, which the opening kind of gives it away. And then the fact that Ween and all that stuff, and yeah. Anyways, let's get into it. So we actually start the episode off with the hunters we saw last week. And these hunters we saw last week, yes, they're the same people, I'm guessing, that are smuggling these monsters and stuff like that. Now, the leader, which we later know is Dix. Dix is the leader of this little group and stuff like that. And he is kind of upset that they didn't catch the, well, I'm not going to say Ween's her race name of the type of monster she is. I'm just gonna say Ween. He's mad that they didn't get Ween, and the fact that we can make a big, you know, break of cash if we were to get a hold of her and stuff like that. And essentially what he does is like, go see if you can find any information about all that stuff about Ween and everything, and then come back and report it to me. Now, you know, he's not the real big bad leader, even though he kind of is to an extent, but the god they serve under is Ikelos. I'm guessing that's how you pronounce it in English, Ikelos. Quick second, guys, let me make a quick cut. I'm gonna see what god he is of. So I'll be right back for a quick second, guys. Hold on. Okay, I'm back after looking it up on Google. And Ikelos was the one of the Oniroi, was the personification of nightmares and appeared in various types of dreams. He's made shapes of humans appear in dreams. He was also the son of Nyx and resided with his brothers Morpheus and Phansantos in the underworld. So one, I guess that definition alone is, I'm guessing you can say he's like a, I guess you could say, like, not like Loki, a god of mischief, even though it sounds like that, but I guess a guy who likes to play pranks in people's dreams. So, like, now I know he's not called, I know there's another Greek god called, you know, the god of dreams. But it seems like to me he's like a god of dreams and nightmares or something like that. Like I said, his design already looks like a bad dude. And I'm guessing, like I said, he's gonna be, I guess you could say, maybe the god antagonist to Dix's antagonistic, like, you know, ways and stuff like that. So, yeah, now, that's who Dix serves under. And essentially, Dix wants Icolos to see if he can find some information about somebody trying to hide weed and stuff like that. So that's where that scene ends. Anyways, we cut over to Hestia's familia, and essentially Hestia goes on to say, like, if we want to know more about Ween, you're gonna have to go back to the dungeon where you first found her, which is the 19th floor up there, and stuff like that. Now, they come up with a thing like, maybe we should have some people stay here, and it's just me, Lily, and Welf go try to find the information, but it's probably best if you try to bring someone else along. Anyways, what happens is they actually try to ask Ryu, and Ryu's like, yeah, no, I kind of got a shift I have to do, and stuff like that, until Aisha kind of shows up. And if you don't know who Aisha is, she was one of the frickin' antagonists back in Season 2, with the whole Haruhime incident. Again, if you somehow don't know who she is, or, well, if you don't know who she is, one, you skipped over a season, and you might need to go rewatch Season 2, even though Season 2 isn't the best, but still. Now, they tell her, like, oh yeah, we're going to go up to Livera and just check something out. And she's like, oh, really? That's great. I'll probably come along. And she kind of does a lot of sexual innuendos to Belle. But then Ryu kind of stops that, and she's like, yeah, no. I'm gonna go with you. And she tells her, she's like, yeah, sir, tell the boss that I'm gonna be watching over Belle for a second so nothing bad happens and stuff like that to him. And so she decides to go with him, and I like the funny dynamic between Aisha and Ryu, because it's like, oh, cat fight is about to start out between those two. Now, they get into the dungeon, they're obviously fighting these monsters, and Belle, you know, actually hesitates for a quick second against this one monster, one that kind of looks similar in terms of the hair that looks like Ween, but I also think he's hesitating because it's like, I guess you can say his internal struggle is, should he attack these, you know, monsters when he knows, like, Ween, these monsters just might have, like, a personality just like they do, and if not, they're like humans. And, you know, he kind of gets knocked down. Now, Aisha and Ryu, they kind of make a mention like, bro, you typically don't act like this. Is something up with you? And, well, that's what Ryu says. Aisha's like, you made me come all this way only to get me disappointed in you? Well, that's just great. Now, I think it's, like I said, I think it's because of the whole aspect of Belle not wanting to hurt a monster because he sees Ween and he sees that these monsters obviously have lives and thoughts, and they're just like humans as well. Anyways, what happens is Belle and Welf actually go to the area where they found Ween for the first time, or where Belle found Ween for the first time, while Lily kind of stalls Ryu and Aisha, and they come up with some lie that they're gonna do something else. Anyways, what happens is they encounter this hooded figure, and this hooded figure says about, you know, their kindred, and they ask the ones if they're the ones that Fells spoke of. And she even talks about, you know, can humans and monsters coexist instead of, you know, you kill us, we kill you, you know, shebang and stuff like that. And then she kind of just leaves and stuff like that. She does make a mention that Welf and Belle are different than most humans, though. And the last thing you see of her is a feather, which, if you watch the opening, she more than likely, I guarantee you, is probably that feather girl you see in the opening, or that bird girl, or whatever. So, yeah. They do also make a mention that she looks like Ween as well. So I don't know if that's like, I don't know, maybe Ween's mother or somebody looking after Ween or something like that. So, yeah. Anyways, as they're walking to find more information, they actually do pass by Dix and his gang. And now Dix is like, one of the gang members is like, hey, we saw that kid, the little rookie, the other day. And Dix is like, oh, interesting. Well, I guess we're gonna have to do some investigating. So Belle actually goes out on his own, and Igelos actually runs into Belle, or Belle kind of runs into him, and he starts talking, and he asks if he knows Ween, and he starts to antagonize him and stuff like that, trying to get the information out of him and stuff like that. But Hermes shows up in the nick of time before, I guess you can say, Icolos was about to get the information out of Belle. And that's when Hermes kind of pulls him over to the side and says, yeah, Belle, you can get out of here, man. I actually have business with Icolos. And essentially, Hermes is kind of interrogating him by saying, look, are you doing this? Is your familia doing this monster smuggling that there are rumors going on about, or the information I'm being heard about, you know, and stuff like that. And he asks like a whole bunch of other stuff. And we do get an interesting point, which, like I said, leads me to believe that Icolos is not a good guy. Hermes says, look, your familia at some part was part of the dark faction called Evilis, which, motherfucker, it says evil in it. You just added the U and the S. Evilis? Oh, you cannot lie to me that he has some sort of freaking trick up his sleeve, or he's not bad. So yeah, anyways, Icolos is like, why are you interrogating me and stuff like that? I want to do that and stuff like that. And he even brings up a point to Hermes. He's like, listen, okay, say I'm convicted of that stuff and you kill me. It's not gonna stop. Okay, you stop me, but you're not gonna stop the people, because if my children or the people in my familia find out that, oh, I'm dead, they'll just probably go to another familia and probably continue to do the same thing. So, what's the point in stopping me if you can't stop the main culprits at hand? Which, I guess you can say Icolos makes a good point. You would probably have to imprison the people who used to be in his familia, because if you just kill the god, they just go back to heaven. And, okay, they can't go back. So, yeah. So, it is interesting. Also, there was, I'm guessing, in order to see if there was anything else going on, most of Icolos also mentioned that, oh yeah, because most of his Hermes familia was all around surrounded him, probably to try to maybe finish him off if he was convicted of that stuff and things like that. And then we get the last few bits of the episode where I guess you can say it's all thanks to Lily, which led this into probably a worse situation. So I find it completely funny how Lily, this entire discussion, when they're having a discussion about Ween, because what happens is Ween actually overhears them talking about her, and Lily brings up the fact that, listen, because of Ween, we're gonna get in trouble, and I think the best course of action is we just stop sheltering her and we just kick her out of the house. Sad to say, Ween actually heard all that stuff and ran out of there, thanks to Lily's whole thing, because Lily's like, it can get worse, we'll get in big trouble, and stuff like that, when, guess what? Now the situation that the familia's in for the Hesse familia is much more worse. Anyone know who's that? Well, the funny coincidence made everything worse. It was freaking Lily, because she had to open her big fat mouth. Like I said, I'm not trying to say she's not wrong in the aspect of, if you keep hiding her, eventually the secret's gonna come out. But still, yeah, it's like Lily saying that stuff and Ween hearing all that stuff. Literally, Lily saying all that stuff literally made everything just progress faster in the whole terms of, oh, they'll find out eventually. Well, now guess what? So, you can thank Lily for being an absolute dick and an a-hole to Ween. And like I said, I do like Lily's character, but sometimes she comes across like that. Like, she is a dick, and she is an a-hole, and she totally is being a total massive dick to Ween. And unlike everybody else, heck, even though everybody else has their concerns about Ween, at least the thing is this, that they still do care about Ween, and they know that, she's different, and, she should be liked. You even had Makoto be like, are you sure you should be saying this? And stuff like that. And yeah, now, at the end of the day, now we know how Belle feels. We know how Haruhime feels, to an extent. She wants Ween to kind of stay in the familia. Makoto's leaning towards that way as well, but she's also still on the indecisive side. Lily, she's just kind of on the... Like, look, I think she just needs to be kicked out and she needs to go, and we need to go back to our regular old lives like it was. And stuff like that. And it's like, it's funny when she says that, I'm like, can't Belle just kick you out the familia, or can't Hestia kick you out the familia and you'll be on your own so you know what it's like again? Because I guarantee you want to go back to your old familia because they almost got you punch drunk. Well, He also looks indecisive as well, but I feel like, I guess he can somewhat understand as well too, but at the same time, he looks kind of decisive, and he does, to some extent, take Lily's side, but hey, it is what it is. Hesty is kind of the only person in this familia we don't know how she truly feels about this whole thing. Like, she does care about, you know, Ween, but at the same time, we don't know. Is she indecisive? It looks like at some point she could be indecisive about the Ween situation, so yeah. Anyways, what happens is Ween runs away. Belle actually hers is out, so they actually all split up and they try to find her. And the thing is, Ween's just walking around, you know, and stuff like that, trying to look for Belle. And essentially, she sees this girl that's about to get this box landed on her. She runs in to save her, but then a wing grows out of Ween, which had something to do with the title, which this episode was, I think, was titled like One Wing or something like that. I'm not looking at it in the title. And yeah, when, you know, the little girl turns around, she gets all scared because she thinks Ween's a monster. Well, she is a monster, and she's scared, and then that leads to the people in Aurario kind of really being harsh and mean, and not really thanking Ween for saving the little girl. They kind of start throwing rocks, like, get out of here, you monster! Throwing rocks at her, and like I said, it takes me back to One Piece in terms of the Fishman Island arc, and I feel like we're gonna deal with the discrimination of monsters and humans and stuff like that. So it's gonna be very interesting here. It's definitely gonna be very interesting. Oh, Belle, here's all this commotion. He tries to go to Ween. Wolf kind of stops him back and says, hey, you're gonna create more trouble if you go out there. But Belle's like, dude, screw this. I don't even care anymore. She needs to be comforted and she needs help. But Lily in the disguise of the little elf girl, which I didn't know that was Lily in the first episode, so that's my bad. That was Lily, and she kind of runs off and she tells him to meet, essentially, you know, at their old place. Now the owl, that which I'm guessing is Oranos, is watching all this thing. They essentially go back to their old familiar home with the rundown building. It's run down now because of what happened with, you know, the first half instance of season 2. And essentially, you know, what happens there is Ween asks Belle a question by saying, like, am I causing trouble to you? And Belle kind of gives this look that is pretty unsure and stuff like that, and it makes Ween, like, start to cry and feel, I would not say rejected, but feel guilty and stuff like that. And that ends on a somber note. But the episode ends off with this hooded figure talking to, I'm guessing, Oranos' owl, saying that it looks like the whole plan they had in mind for, I guess, humans and monsters to potentially coexist has backfired, and it looks like it's not going to be working out because the townspeople of Aurario are still looking for Ween, and they want to essentially try to get there. So things definitely got from bad to worse, and thanks to Lily, she kind of escalated it, and honestly, I have no problem with it if Belle gets upset at Lily for saying all that stuff. Because she was being kind of a rude person and really kind of being mean and inconsiderate. Like, I understand the concerns. There should be causes for concern that she can definitely, you know, cause danger to you. But at the end of the day, you're just gonna say all that stuff, and heck, she even, which made Ween run away in the first place, she's like, she's still just a monster. And it's like, dog, can you just say she's just a person like you, everybody else in there? And, you know, that's the thing with Lily and the others. Maybe that's hopefully Lily's arc of finally realizing, you know, Ween, you know, even though she's a monster, she's a human, she's a living being, a person, a thing, you know, that has emotions and feelings and thoughts as well, you know? And maybe that will be Lily's little side path, this thing, as well as hopefully the rest of the villages, the rest of the people of Aurario, I'm realizing it. Other than that, this was a pretty, kind of solid episode. Really solid episode. You know, again, like I said, you know, it makes you definitely want to hate Lily. Like, Lily right now, in aspect for me, I'm not liking her so far, because I'm like, she said really mean things and stuff like that. And essentially, she made everything, she said everything was going to get worse going on. She made things worse in just one word she just said, and just a few dialogue scenes. So guess what, Lily? Good job now. Now your clever is almost damn near blown now. And it's all thanks to you, Lily. So if anybody should be blaming anybody for things getting out of hand, they need to blame Lily. I'm sorry. They have to blame Lily. Because she's the one that caused this in the first place. If she just didn't keep her mouth, she just kept her mouth shut, Ween would have never run away. And guess what? That's it. Anyways, like I said, it was a solid episode. I can't wait to see what next week has in store, because this Season 3 seems to be heating up, and man, Jesus. I can't wait. Anyways, if you guys like the video, leave a like. Put in the comment section your thoughts on this video. And, yeah. And then hit that subscribe button if you want to get more DanMachi content. So other than that, guys, I'm gonna get out of here. This has been Camry15. And hopefully you guys are staying safe out there and have a great rest of your day. So till then, guys, peace.